guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, what do, baby? Thank you for stopping by. Here today, I'm Seabe mpulubusitwins. I'm a content creator, a video creator, a YouTuber, as all of you may know. I'm a business owner, entrepreneur. I'm a graduate, obviously. What else? I'm a realtor. I'm a property consultant at Morocco's Properties. So today I'll be giving you another real estate video, another segment into this video. So today we're gonna talk about how to do a viewing, as you can see by the title below. So before we get into that, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment, and make sure to put on your post notification so that you're notified every time we drop a video. So our names and everything will be down on the screen, as well as my sister, since it's a joint account, guys. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I have with me, I actually presented these things at work. I presented like what I got to know on how to conduct a viewing or a showing. So I just have them on my notes, so I'm gonna open that right now. There we go. So I just wanted to come here and put it in a video format to kind of like educate you guys on like the tips and tricks on how to conduct a viewing, especially when you're in an agent or an upcoming agent, or you're into real estate and you like actually want to know what it is like, or what you're getting yourself into, if I may say. But before I begin, guys, just to let you know, it's not actually that deep. I think I've seen it when I watch like Listing Cape Town every Wednesday. I'm not sure about the time, but I watched Listing Cape Town. I've watched even a couple of videos. I'll try to like insert his name on the screen or a link or whatever. I've also been watching that. So watching like a lot of video actually gives you a lot of insight, or kind of gives you an idea on what actually happens on like showing a client a viewing, or wanting to like video ads on like real estate, or showing us a house or something. There's just like tips, a little bit of tips and tricks that I've learned into it, and how you can make it better and best for yourself. And another thing is, don't take it too serious. It's nothing too serious, it's nothing too deep. So let's dive into it. So the first thing, if I keep on looking down, it's because I'm looking at my phone, né? So the first thing I'm gonna talk about is just like brief notes or whatever that I took before I could actually get into the actual tips and tricks and on how to do everything. The first thing I talked about was like your intro. Intro in terms of branding. So what I meant about this, or let me just read like my extra notes or whatever, then I just explain. It's like your intro, and then being consistent with your client and never leaving your client hanging, and advise your client as the listing agent to make their property as appealing as they can, because first impressions actually matter. So let me just explain this in a lighter and like expand into this. So what I mean is, when you get to a viewing or before then, you actually have to be prepared as a consultant, as an agent, literally whatever that you're doing in this real estate world, right? So here I'm talking in terms of like a viewing. When you go to show your client a viewing, always make sure you're always prepared, right? And it's okay for you to advise your client, in this case the seller, that they should clean the house, they should tidy up their houses. I've been in this industry for like not more than 3 months, if it's not like 3 months, 2 to 3 months, I think. And I think one or two things that I've kind of noticed is that people don't actually clean their houses, but It's very important for you to clean your house because first impressions matter. If you're thinking of selling your house and you have that idea of selling your house, you have to make it appealing. You have to make it appealing to someone who's coming to see, because your house can be nice, but the problem is the interior and the exterior of the house can actually chase away that client. So the first thing I just want to mention and tell you guys is that it's very important for you to always make sure you talk to your clients and let them know, please just at least make your house tidy or fix this and fix that. Outside, if it needs to be no, but like just clean the house outward surroundings. They should be appealing. Even your interior should be appealing. You may not have like the best interior ever, but at least let it be a bit appealing and enticing, right? And the other thing I spoke about was to be consistent with your client. As an agent, as a consultant, you have to make sure you're always consistent with your client. In this case, the seller. We're not yet into the buyer part, but the seller. You have to make sure that from time to time you give them updates or a review. Even though there is no much traffic in the property that they want to sell, in their house and their farm and their plot, you just have to make sure that you keep on updating them. Just an update to say, well, hi, I'm trying to push your property in the market. We're getting there. We're getting a few of the potential buyers. These are the requested. These are the offers. People are offering this, just to also let them know that there's traffic. Just to let them know that something is going on. Even though there's nothing going on, even though their property is not getting as much attraction as maybe they wished it could be, just make sure you let them know and keep them updated. Sometimes one thing I want to tell you about clients is at times people who don't understand that sometimes properties are things that actually stays on the market for a very long time. So sometimes you have to kind of make them understand that. Sometimes they would want you to say, hey, I wanted to go fast and like put pressure on you and stuff to say in a week or in a month, and some time frames are very impossible. So that's why I say at times for them to see that you're actually doing something with our property and you're taking it's serious, you're taking them serious, and you're actually making their property or whatever it is a priority. Like they'll feel important, they'll feel like you're doing something out of it, right? So I'm done with that. Those were just like my extra tips, not tips, but little notes that I just wanted to warm you guys up for this session. So the first thing I'm gonna start with, as an agent, as a property consultant, right? I'm a property consultant. I'm yet to be licensed to go to a stage of being now a licensed agent, right? So what I can say is, but yeah, I'm an agent. So the first thing I'm gonna talk about to you agents, property consultant, is your attire. Guys, your attire really matters. There's different what sections, if I may say, sections of real estate. You have your management, you have your valuation, you have your agency, and so on and so on. But you'll get to realize that attire in all the few segments of real estate that I've talked about are actually different. Let me tell you something, real estate is not something that you actually need to always be on a suit or always be corporate. It's not that kind of job. But a valuer never dresses like an agent. If you understand me. But sometimes companies are different. Some companies, real estate companies, I realize they expect you to always be like a formal corporate, and stuff. But with agency, guys, you have to look appealing when you go meet your clients. Sometimes the first impression, even them to us, actually matters. So sometimes just be nice, just be nice, look nice. It's actually not that deep. Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, watching Listing Cape Town, I saw these people, it's not like they're trying too hard with their outward appearance, right? They just try to look appealing, you know, with your little dress, with your little skirt, you know, you don't have to be extra in order to impress someone. Just look okay and just look appealing. So I can say at your attire really matters. So yeah, kana go lona le batho ba apara diaparo tse di ha wa ho closer deal wa bona, yeah, duh. But also make sure that your attire looks a bit, you know, I try not being there sometimes. They can tell you at work that I try being there sometimes. So the other thing I want to talk about is to be time conscious, which is arrival, yeah, to your client too. And then being time conscious again, I mean when during the showing. So the first one I'm gonna talk about is being time conscious too. As agents, property consultants, is it's very important for you to arrive on time on your viewing. Even that by its own can actually determine whether your client will be happy or will be not. Guys, let me tell you something time. When your client actually arrives on time and you come behind them, can be a turn off, and they can just decide to leave, not because they didn't like the house or they didn't want to view the house, but because your time, you know. So time really matters. So please be time conscious. And time conscious, again, it actually helps you if you're like 15 minutes or 30 minutes early to your viewing. It actually gives you time to prepare. It gives you time to go through the house. You know, sometimes you go, the listing agent might not be present, and none of us may know what the house looks like, and also we have to put that on our shoulders. Like, we have to give ourselves that task to actually go and familiarize yourself with the property, how it looks like, its hidden treasures, its hidden damages, its hidden faults, so that you're prepared all the time, you know, to come and know what to say to your client and how to show to your client. And again, it gives you a little bit of a frame, not a frame, but how you were going to do the viewing, you know. So yeah. And when I spoke about time in terms of during the viewing, sometimes clients can like to take much time in one setting, like take time probably in the sitting room for a long time. So it's very important for you to like be mindful of that time and actually make them be mindful and aware of that time. You know, you also have things to do as an agent, but don't be rude about it, but be smart about it. And the other thing I'm gonna talk about is be approachable or friendly. Keep it light yet professional. So please, as agents, as property consultant, don't have this face. I don't know what, from my experience and what I like to do, I like to be very fluffy. I like to be very jolly with my clients. I've been so lucky enough to receive clients who are very loose and so light, not like so sometimes I throw in jokes there and there. Like, be able to be approachable. Don't feel like your client like this is tiring you, ne? So always keep it light, even during your conversations, during the viewing. Always keep it light, but don't forget yourself, you know. Keep it light, but yet keep it professional. So I think that's what I've learned with me. I try to like chip in there and there to keep it light, to be approachable and all, you know. So the other thing is for you to think like a viewer, what they are likely to say, to ask, you know. Be conscious of that. Most of the times, like I said in the beginning when I said you should be prepared, for you to actually familiarize yourself with the property, this is where this comes in. When you're able to familiarize yourself with the property, or not even that, you're able to think like put yourself in a position of a potential buyer, you know. What am I likely to ask, you know, because buyers are people who are really very, very conscious of everything. They could literally pick out the smallest thing. It's like there's a hole in the wardrobe, it's like the window, but something that is fixable, you know. But buyers can are very, very, very hard people to convince. So you have to be able to think like a viewer. What is this person most likely to ask, or most likely to to think about this, you know. So when you're able to familiarize yourself with the property and you're able to pick out the treasures, the damages, the faults of that house, I feel like it becomes very easy, because then you're able to know how you're gonna respond when your client buyer asks something about that dent or that fault. So another thing is for you. I think I spoke about being prepared, being on time, and know your property, and don't panic. I think I mentioned that previously, that know your property and don't panic. Sometimes you don't really need to know a lot. Maybe on the phone, at least know, just on the phone you can just know a bit of it, just to give them a loop of how the property is, or just a little bits and pieces of information. But when you're actually at the viewing, know your property, guys. Know your property, especially the hidden treasures. Know the property, because those are the things you're going to come highlight. I'll talk about that during this. So the other thing is that don't panic, because when you panic, you don't get to do your job well, and when you don't do your job well, they can see you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, don't panic, guys. Well, for the first time when you do it like me, yes, I mean, your emotions, you panic, yes, but when you get the hold of it, and guys, actually after your first viewing, you will actually see it's not that deep. So you just have to keep your cool, don't panic, and just act like you know what you're doing. That's the only thing you need to do. So how to conduct a viewing, the tips and tricks into it is that make your presence known. What do I mean by this? When I say make your presence known, I mean at the beginning of the viewing, when your client comes and you go meet them halfway. Go take them from the car. Go take them from the car and introduce yourself. What I normally do, I tell them, I am Sami. I'm your property consultant, and I'll be the one who'll be helping you to view this property. Like, I make myself known to them, and then that's when they can warm up to even tell me who they are, and then the conversation goes on. And then the second thing from there, after letting your presence known, you sell the area. Before anything, you have to start by selling the area. Selling the area, I mean your neighborhood, maybe the amenities that what the area is close to, the utilities that the area is close to. There's water, there's electricity, there's a school this side. Like, sell your area. Go to the extent of even asking in this area, so that you're able to tell your client, no, this area is very safe, it's very quiet, it's very modern, it's airy, it's light, it's you have to sell your area before anything. Highlight the good neighborhoods, its close proximity to what. That's what I was trying to say. And from there, I started with your introductions to selling you're still outside, you're not inside, to selling your area. Then the next thing, when you go inside, before you could actually get inside the house, just give a little brief description about your house. So this is what you do. Hi, I'm Seabe mpulubusitwins. I'm your what? Okay, I'm the agent who will be helping you view this house today. Yeah, you ask them about that day. How's your day doing? You can speak about the weather. You can literally speak about everything. Just keep the conversation flowing. And then when you get inside, or when you're about to go inside the house, then you start. So this is a 2-bedroomed house, 1 in-suite, 1 common bathroom, and in-suite of a kitchen, open plan kitchen. The bedrooms are fitted. Like, just a little brief description about the house to just give them an idea of what you're speaking about. Sometimes when they call or they send you a text or an app to respond to say, oh, I saw this house, you advertised it on Facebook. Yes, you can talk. Yes, you give them like what the house has and what, but sometimes buyers, they seem true, so sometimes you just have to remind them again. So okay, now we're in block 10. This is the house that you saw. So it's a 3-bedrooms house, what, before you can actually begin with the viewing. I hope you guys understand me. And then the next thing I'm going on yeah, for them to be okay. The next thing that I'm gonna talk about is know your property in and out, its strengths, its weaknesses, hidden damages, hidden treasures, so you know how to cover up for anything that comes up as a surprise to your client. So yeah, I think I spoke about that, like knowing your property in and out. You just don't need to know how to, okay, this, it's a common bathroom, it's an in-suit, it's a water closet, it's your kitchen, it's fitted, but you literally have to know the ins and outs of your property. And then moving on, you have to converse with your client before, during, and after the viewing. Don't be too quiet. In the beginning of the viewing, like I was saying, you go greet your client again from the car. From you going to the car to the gate, from the gate, inside the house during the viewing, to everything. Guys, don't find yourself in any moment keeping quiet. Don't find yourself in any moment having that awkward silence between you and your client. It's not supposed to be that way. So before, during, and after your viewing, make sure you converse with your client. Even if like you throw in some jokes there and there just to make it airy and very light, please do so, you know. So it's very, very important, again, after your viewing, I think I'll talk about that, after your viewing, to ask your client, what do you think about this property? Just to know where they are coming from, just to know their mindset and what they're thinking about the viewing you just gave them. What do you think about the property? What were your highlights? What were your downfalls? With that, you're able to measure and to know what your client likes, what your client doesn't want, in terms of when you're going to find them another house or another option. You now know, oh, okay, she didn't like the kitchen like this, but she liked the aisle like this. She didn't like it to be an in-suit, but she'd rather want it in this way. So I think that's another thing that actually really helps, to always converse with your client during the viewing. And moving on, don't go overboard, don't over exaggerate, just keep it chill, guys. If you don't know anything, don't speak about it. Don't over exaggerate anything, because you'll make mistakes, né? So don't exaggerate things. Just keep it cool, keep it chill, and just stick to what you know. Just stick to what you want to talk about, and that's it, né? If you don't know something, or if your client asks you something and you're not sure, it's better to say, I'm not sure, can I please confirm? You know, maybe you can just give them something and I told on to, but just let them know, Hore, you're not sure, so let me just confirm and I'll get back to you. That is the best answer you can ever give to your client. So moving on again, do not say your answer to things you're not sure or aware of. Best answer, can I please confirm and get back to you? I had noted it down. Then the other thing, yeah, I also spoke about, do not panic. It makes everything worse and you might disappoint yourself. There are viewings where you can actually disappoint yourself or forget you're supposed to say this because you panic, and it's a bummer, guys. It's sad, you know. So yeah, just don't panic. Just try to pretend as if you know what you're doing. Even if like you forget some things there and there, you would have tried, you know. So the other thing is, from the beginning to the end, go from the beginning to the end when showing, during your showing. What do I mean by this? You can't start, even though like the structure of the house is very weird or how it's been laid is very weird, don't find yourself starting from the staff quarters and going there. You have to start from your outside to the garage. Like that's what we see outside, from the garage to the veranda to your foyer, then to your sitting room, from your sitting room to your, like the order, the way it goes, to your sitting room to your kitchen, to your sitting room to your dining kitchen, from your dining kitchen to your TV room, then you open up to your rooms, to the bathroom, then you can go to the quarters. You can't begin with the toilet and then you go to the kitchen. Guys, no, it's not supposed to be done that way. So please, with the order of the things that with order, you get me, guys, but with that order. And then the other thing is, begin with the interesting elements of the house or make them known. Like I was saying earlier, know the ins and outs, the hidden treasures and the hidden damages. So in this part, we're talking about the hidden treasures or the highlights of that house, of those houses. Guys, make them known to your client. sometimes that thing can good, even if it's like the appliances being in a certain way or in a modern way that we don't know, just make it known. Like my house, the house that I listed in G North, in Gaborone North, the bathtub has some and I made sure I highlighted that. You know, sometimes just giving a highlight of that interesting part of the house can actually change a lot for you, ne? So just make those interesting parts of the house, make them known, guys. Please make them known. The next thing we're gonna talk about is highlight your highlights of the property. Guys, I like houses, ne? Not that I just did this career because I like houses, not to do with people. But one thing I should tell you is that making the highlights of the house your highlights made known to your client actually helps. It makes them a sense of what they get it very interested. So if you walk in a house, like before you can show your client the house, when you go in first as an agent, as a property consultant, you go in first to familiarize yourself with the property. If there's anything you liked and that was the highlight of the house, make that highlight known to your client. The highlight of this, my highlight of this house was that fountain. My highlight of that house was that the aisle was a certain way. My highlight of that house was that the water closet was like this, or you know, stuff like that. So make your highlights of that house known to your client. You get me? The other thing, moving on, give them an idea of what they can make of something, or like an empty space. Sometimes during viewings you can notice that maybe the way the seller actually decorated the house is just something else, or there are different colors in the house. Another paint is blue, another room is yellow, another house is green, you know, stuff like that. So you should, or there's an empty space somewhere, you should make known to your client they can make something out of that space. They should see use out of something. You can just tell them, oh, since you have kids, you can come, you know, make a rainbow in this room. You can come paint it blue for your boy child. If there's a space or there's corner there, you can put a chair, you can put your little coffee table, you can put like your chair with a throw, with some shelves, with some books. Like, make them know what they can do in that foyer. Make them know what they can do with that kitchen, with that sitting room. Just make it interesting so that they will not be blinded by because of what they see, and they won't be able to see their interest in that house and what they can do with that house. So that is a very, very important point. At times, all the material used, or rather use unique real estate terms during a viewing, especially on your finishes or on your fittings. This is very important. You don't really need to know all your construction, you know, construction. Those who did real estate construction, you know that we're told, okay, this is IBR, this is this kind of roof, you know, this is your water closet, this is your wash and basin, this is your water cubicle, this is your granite, this is your porcelain tiles, your ceramic. Sometimes you don't need to know all of them, but sometimes you can just learn it. But buyers, you don't need to come to them with bombastic words, because they're not really interested on that. They just want to see their house. But sometimes wait for you to look so professional, not professional, but to them it will be as if you know what you're doing. Or you're just playing with their mind, you know. Just tell them, so as you can see, the next room will be going to these finishes that are done with this type of material, or this countertop is granite. As you can see, it's your PVC ceiling or your rhino board. You got me. And then the next thing we're gonna talk about is try to show them what they can change, because at times the interior of the property may not be of interest to your client, which can affect their view. I think I spoke about this earlier. Try to make them see what they can change, because sometimes the way the seller has decorated that house may just not be of your interests, you know. So kind of make them know what they can do with, or what they can change with that. And then the last thing is benefits to the property. So let me talk about this. Benefits to the property, this is what I'm talking about. Let's say it's it's your double story and you're showing that house. Or let me just give an example about the one house that I saw when I was watching Listing Cape Town. And guys, that house was near the beach. So what you do, I get, when you go maybe upstairs, let's say upstairs with your client, you can just say this house gives you, as like this house, you from here you can see the views, you can be able to see the sunsets in the evening, you can be able to see this beautiful sunrise, you're closer to the beach, you know, you'll be having nature. You can even with your house tell them, as you can see, when you get into this house, it feels homey, it feels like a family. This house has a sense of warmth. You can tell them what feeling this house brings you. You know, you can try to describe that. What did I write? Hey, this house gives you a sense of warmth. It's homey, you know, it's airy. This house gives you winter vibes, it gives you summer vibes. That's why in some countries people go out to other countries for summer, you know, because they know when they're at this place they experience something like that. So try to give that to your clients. It's very, very important. It's very important. So yeah, I think that's all. Hey guys, remember, this is just from my experience and what I've kind of learned during like my 2 to 3 months being in this industry. This is just kind of the little things that I've learned that I feel like you need to take tips out of them, you know. And I'm glad I'm actually kind of sharing these things with you guys. I know now this part of this segment in our channel may not be getting a lot of traction, but I know there's just that one person or those two people who are actually interested and they would want to know, you know. I also want to share like my career, like I said, with the outside world. It's interesting for me, so I want you guys to also make it interesting for me so that I can also feel motivated to do these kind of videos for you guys. So I'm very glad I was able to help where I could. So I'm very happy I was able to help where I could. So if you liked this video, and yeah, you can tell me what you do, what you loved, what made sense down below in the comment section. And yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment if you liked this video, please. And yeah, see you in my next video. Mwah.